Hello. So today we're going to mix a batch of Kodak X-Tol developer and use it to try and develop some Fomopan 100. Some disclaimers. This is my second time developing and literally my first time using X-Tol. And if you don't know, Kodak X-Tol isn't very great for home development. I'll try and illustrate why. So the first thing you need is a huge jug. Did you know that not everyone has a 5-liter jug just lying around? Well, they don't. I didn't anyway. So you need to put this A solution into this 4-liter jug, into 4 liters of water, mix it, then add the B part solution along with another liter of water. Then you get 5 liters of final solution. Okay, so let's mix this thing. At least for the initial mix, the temperature isn't too important. It just needs to be at room temperature, sort of, what does it say, 18 to 29 Celsius. Unfortunately, my distilled water was really cold, hence this sort of warming bowl. Okay, all of solution A is in. So why did I pick this developer, by the way? It's because I read recommendations and they said it's good. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to use. It's very economical, but mixing it and storing it is a little bit of a pain. But I've heard it's pretty good developer, so I'm excited to try it out at least a few times. Assuming it'll be done mixed soon. I don't know. I think it's reasonably consistent. I don't see anything else in there. Oh, my hand hurts. I'm just hoping the sound is the sound of plastic and not powder at the bottom. You can tell I'm very experienced at this. High school chemistry was a long time ago. Okay, let's just add our part B. Now we need to add another liter of water. Yeah, that looks to be about 5 liters of water. There's a funky smell in the air. It's a bit like poisonous orange juice, I guess. Supposedly this developer is a little bit gentler than most developers. It's based on what was it, absorbic acid. I should actually just put on my gloves. Don't be like me, kids, and misplace your gloves. Though I don't find one of them. Anyway, whatever. They say carrying medium format cameras around is what gives you a workout, but clearly those people don't develop their own film using Kodak X-Tol. Ow, ow, ow. If more than 5 people watch this, there's going to be a chemist in my comments telling me I'm stirring things all wrong and that I should go back and retake high school chemistry. Doesn't feel like there's anything at the bottom. There's nothing floating at the top. Okay. So the way you use this solution, this 5 liters of solution, is obviously you don't pour all of that into this little tank, right? So you can use it 3 different ways. You can use it as is, just pour enough to cover the tank. You can use it 1-to-1. So if 120 will need 500 milliliters roughly. So 250 milliliters of this and 250 milliliters of water. And the final way is you use it without dilution but with replenishment. And what that means is that you constantly reuse the solution, just adding some fresh solution every time. Let's illustrate how that works. Okay, I'm going to put my mixing rod to the side for now. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to take out about 650 milliliters as like my working solution. Please ignore the fact that this is just a mason jar for pasta sauce. It's because I don't have anything else that's like 650 milliliters or 600 milliliters roughly in size. Ideally I should buy those vacuum bottles, but I haven't done that yet. I'm going to dump as much as I can into this, so get roughly 650 milliliters of it out. Let's get our funnel. Of course you should be prepared ahead of time, but okay, so here's to hoping we don't spill much. Mission already failed. The reason I want to fill up as much as I can before putting the lid on is because I want as little air in there as possible. I'm sure I've got some contaminants in here, which is no fun. I really hope I don't ruin too many rolls of film with this. Note to self, make sure you have your lid as well. Okay, that's more or less about as much as I can get in. Okay. So this solution, this is my working solution now. It's by Classical Kodak. See, Classical Kodak. This stuff is what you use every time you develop, and every time you use this, you take roughly, Kodak recommends 70 milliliters per roll of film of this stuff, put it in here, or rather put it in the mixture, toss away 70 of this stuff, and then develop and increase the development time by I think 15% every time. So that's kind of how it works. Is basically more or less you're using 70 milliliters of this big jug every time you develop a roll of film. That's why it can last a very long time, like 70 odd rolls if you're very conservative and economical with it. The problem though is storing this stuff, because it can go bad. It goes bad when exposed to the air. So if it's stored, just like in this open jug, it'll go bad in like 2 months. So a tight container is important, and even then, I think maybe a shelf life of 6 months. So that's the biggest problem, is that you kind of have to use these 70 odd rolls in those 6 months. Or you can, what I might probably end up doing is after a few months, I'll just switch to like 1-to-1 dilution of this and try and get through it before it expires. I just really hope it doesn't expire and ruin some roll of film. That's my biggest fear. Along with, I just hope I didn't mess up and get a whole bunch of nonsense in there. So to actually store this, obviously I can't just keep this jug because it's exposed to air. I either came up with the biggest brain move possible or the dumbest move possible, and it will remain to be seen which one it is. But instead of buying a big bottle to do it, I got this little thing from Amazon, the bad website, and it's designed for camping and stuff, so that you can fold your water and carry it along. And my idea, at least, is that by putting it in here, I can squeeze out as much air as possible and try and keep it as airtight as possible. So let's hope we can do some of that. Okay. So I'm not a very pious man, but this is where I actually start praying. This bag can store 5 liters, by the way. It's pretty uncommon to find a 5-liter bottle, so now can I put the lid on without it exploding on me? Someone in the comments on this bag said they were using it for wine, and I was like, wine? Film developer? Same thing, I'm sure. Okay, it's probably not super airtight, but it's better than nothing, I hope. Big chungus. Okay, for today's session we can put this away, we don't need it today. To start off, we're going to put 500 milliliters of our working solution into a little tube. See if I can do basic hoops. I use a funnel kids. Okay, let's start development. I'm going to use stock solution at roughly 5.5 minutes. Okay, make sure the lid is tight. Okay, praying for the best. Let's go. Actually, wait, forgot. I'm gonna give an initial rinse first. Okay, we're gonna give an initial rinse. This temperature is roughly 20 Celsius. It's a bit more, but like I said, it's also a test film, so I'm not super duper concerned. I would like nice results, but this lid was a bit easier to pop on. Yeah, I just like agitating like this. Da 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 da. Yeah, this isn't an important step per se. I'm just like trying to get any crud off of the film and try and bring it up to the right temperature, so to speak. Ooh, green. Well, that is cool. Want to do it again? See if you still get some green. That is cool. Last time I did this, I developed Tri-X. I don't recall it having anywhere near as interesting of a color. I just really hope I loaded the film onto the reel correctly. First time I've done 120. It was tricky, but actually went pretty well. Didn't take me too long to do it, which was probably more luck than anything else. Do 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 do. I love this color. Nice little teal color. Final time. Since we have the water. Okay, let's start the real stuff now. Okay, we've got our developer here. Don't even check the temperature again because I know I'll never stop. Okay, I'm gonna pour it in. So initial agitation for 10 seconds, and then every minute we'll agitate again for 5 times, I think. Just inverted. I was a little bit careless there. Two, 3, 4, 5. Then you knock it and you wait. People seem to really like developing this film longer than the manufacturer recommended one. All the times on the film app are longer than 5.5 minutes, which is what the manufacturer recommends. Interesting. Yeah. Next time around, when we use this solution again, with like the replenish stuff, we're gonna have to reduce the time, or increase the time, sorry. Please forgive my gloves. I honestly went looking for some, but I couldn't find another pair in time. You know, people might find this boring, but honestly, I like it. Because, well, it's only my second time, but I like it because it's so rhythmic and different than sitting in a chair all day looking at the computer screen. It's a nice change of pace for now. Yeah, some people prefer to just open this and then put the little stick in there and rotate like that, but I like this Ilford recommended way of just going up and down, da da da. Okay, we're coming up on the last 15 seconds, so let's quickly make some space. We're going to put this stuff back in here. I was supposed to have already started pouring by now. It's okay. It's a little bit over time, but I think it's okay. Now we can, let's hope this solution lasts us next time too. Now it's time for the bath. Some people use water. I am going to use an Ilford stop bath solution, which I hope is at an okay temperature. Good thing about the stop bath is the scary time in terms of timing and everything else, which is development, is over. Now it's sort of a little bit less time critical. Technically that's done, but I was a little bit slow, so I'm just going to do this for a few more seconds. I think 30 seconds is roughly the minimum, so as long as you're above that, you're probably fine. They don't usually recommend reusing the stop bath, so we're going to dump this out. Okay. Turn on the tap, so hopefully the city will be less mad at me. Okay, next up is the fixer. I have some fixer in this bottle that I used last time. Here's to hoping it's still good. It was packed with a lot of air. Actually, I mistakenly wasn't thinking, but at least it wasn't too long ago, so here's to hoping it's still good. You can reuse fixer at least once or twice, I think. Maybe a few more times. I don't know exactly how many times. I'll have to look that up. So fixer is roughly 3 minutes. Here's to hoping I can trim this overly long video. In the meantime, I'm preparing my post-wash water. You can also rinse these off. This is like cooking. It's an exercise in multitasking. Once this final half minute is done, we're going to put it back in the bottle. Though I honestly don't know if I should reuse it. Here's to hoping that it got used correctly this time around too. At least I think the fix is also not super time critical. Maybe I'll give it a final just for fun. So in theory, the film is actually ready to see the light, but I'm a bit superstitious. I'm gonna like rinse it first, just for no real reason. Well, I mean, the rinsing is important, but I'm gonna leave the top on for no real reason other than personal superstition. Just want to make sure the temperature difference isn't too high, so there's no like temperature shock. Yeah, close enough. It's like 20 something. So the way I like to rinse it, I do it the Ilford way. You could run this under the tap, but I find that a bit wasteful. Usually the British are not to be trusted at all. However, I do trust Ilford, so I like to do it their way that they recommend. Links below. And their way is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That extra one was just for fun. And then you dump it out. And then you repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like nursery rhymes. Dump it out. And one more time. I probably should have given it a little bit more water. So this is supposed to be the last rinse. I like to do one more rinse after this because I want to use distilled water. Leaky lid. Yeah, this final time you got to do it for 20 conditions. I mean, the number of agitations doesn't matter in this case, right? But you wanted to just have it rinsed enough. I don't want to waste too much water doing it, even though I've used so much water just cleaning stuff up and so on. Were you keeping count? I certainly lost count. What number are we at? Oh, we've definitely done over 20 now. Okay. Now for the final rinse, we do two things. First, we add some film wetting agent. I need to buy more. This is just the one that comes with the starter pack. At least you can just add a little bit. I think that should be enough. I like to do the final rinse with distilled water, so it's, you know, clean as possible rinse. This stuff is available at all your most local grocery stores, at least here in Canada. It's not too expensive, thankfully. Okay, again, 20. Yeah. How am I going to edit these videos? Also, my camera's about to run out of battery. Okay. It's all soapy because of the finishing agent. Now we can open the top. I'm not gonna, it's tempting to like run tap water down, so like clean up these bubbles, but I just did with distilled water, and that would be like a complete waste of distilled water at that point, right? Ooh. So really strong fingers crossed that this came out okay. This was shot in the backyard as a bad attempt at flash in the middle of the night, so everything is going to be out of focus, or it'll be missed shots altogether. If the development came out fine, that is. But like I said, practice roll. Camera ran out of batteries, but oh my god, guys, there's actual stuff on there. It's a wonderful feeling seeing like actual pictures on negatives. Really want to see this with slide film someday. Yeah, so happy. I'm gonna try and squeegee them. I'm still hoping we don't make it worse. Before putting them up, I ran the hot shower for a few minutes. Just try and get rid of some dust in the air. I said don't waste water, but here I was wasting water. I could have probably just taken a shower earlier instead. Remember to always put your weighted clip on.